Hi, everybody. Oh my goodness. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whenever you're watching the broadcast. Hi. Thank you so very much for tuning in to our show today. This is the AllBrands show. If you have never been here before, my name is Callie Champagne, and I am going to be your host today. And I am really excited to get into this. We have a lot of awesome content for you that I'm very excited for you to see. We're going to learn a little bit about some more of Brother's new products, and it is a lot of information. So I'm very, very interested to see what you all have to say and think about this. Before we get started, I just want to say a few things, get a little housekeeping out of the way for the show. So you guys, we are so close to 5,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. That is gigantic. And we could not have done that without you all at home. So thank you all so very much for subscribing and for watching the show over there. If you're watching the show over there, thank you. And if you didn't know that we had a YouTube channel, then now you know. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is AllBrands Corporate. So we'll be over there doing the live show every week, and we will also be posting some more in-house content, some tips and tricks and stuff like that to help you get more acquainted and more comfortable on your machine. And we'll be showcasing some new products that we get there as well. So that's going on. We also have some really exciting news about Houston Quilt Festival. We will be there in person, but we are also going to be there virtually. So I am super, super duper excited to be hosting the virtual portion of the Houston Quilt Festival. And if you are curious and want to learn more, we will be updating our website as we get more information. So go ahead and check out www.allbrands.com/QuiltFest. And that is going to be the hub for all of our Quilt Fest information moving forward. We can drop a link to that in the chat as well. Very, very exciting. I'm super stoked about Houston. It's going to be fantastic and really awesome to have everyone there in person again. So that is also super exciting. Something else that I wanted to mention before we go ahead and get started is that I was recently on a podcast talking about AllBrands, and that was a really fun opportunity. So I want to thank Doris over at the Quilting Magazine that we did that interview at for giving us that opportunity to talk a little bit about our business and philanthropy. And go ahead and check that episode out if you haven't yet. It's over on our Facebook page. We just shared the post before we went live, so it should be right there. And we are super happy to have been part of that. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring our guest on the show today. Our guest today is Colleen Swettman, an amazing Brother national educator, and you may have seen her at Everything Embroidery Market this past weekend. Hey, Colleen.
Hey, thanks for having me. And I'm excited.
Absolutely.
I hope that we did see some of you at the embroidery market. That was a pretty exciting show. It was one of our first actual real person events, and I do love the real person events. They're so much more fun. But today what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the PR680W, which is an amazing machine, and it's got some wonderful features. So we're going to talk about the machine. We're going to talk about a little software program called Design Database Transfer that you will get with the machine, and it's a very, very useful tool. You will love it, and it's easy to use. So some of you are going, software, oh, no. Just wait till you see it in action. It's really cool. And I'll tell you this, the W stands for wireless. So with the software program, you can send a single design to the machine, and it's faster than you could load it to a USB stick. It's already on the machine. But you can also send a group of designs. So if there were 10 of your favorite designs, you can just hit send and boom, they show up on the screen. I thought that might get your interest. Let's see, what else are we going to do? We're going to talk about the cap hoop just for a minute, and we're going to talk about the flash magnetic frames. They're new this year, and I'm going to have to say that I have fallen deeply in love with them. Their usability and their versatility is pretty amazing at how much time they will save you. Okay. So that's the agenda for what we're going to do, and let's get started. Please do feel free to ask questions.
Absolutely. And one more thing, Colleen, before you go ahead and get started,
Okay.
we did want to say that we are going to be doing our $100 AllBrands gift card giveaway again today, as per usual. So go ahead and get those likes, comments, shares, subscribes if you're on YouTube in, and we will pick a winner at the end of the show. So stay tuned. And yes, if you have any questions for Colleen, please drop them in the chat and we will try to get to those as best we can. So on with the show, Colleen.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to flip over here to the screen. I want to show you some screen things first. I've got a design up here, and I'm going to, it's the design we're going to set up, but I'm going to go down here to the settings screens because some of you may not be aware that there's some pretty powerful stuff hidden in the settings screen. So let's just take a quick peek. I want to show you something that's new to this machine and kind of exciting. We're going to go backwards here to page 8, and you can see there's some different things. There's a passcode for the owner, for the administrator, an operations lock, and I'm not going to worry about those, but I am going to tell you this. Some of you have helpers at home, and sometimes you want to have your helpers not help you. So what you can do is you can put a passcode setting on it so the machine will only open for you.
Hey,
now,
Colleen.
Yes.
Could you, you haven't moved your camera yet, right?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to double check.
No, it's on the screen. Sure. The camera should be on the screen.
It's not, unfortunately.
And I've done what I can do on my end. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh. You're not seeing any of it change.
No, unfortunately, we're not. Oh, no.
Well, you and I just went through this and we had all 4 screens up. So now I'm a little baffled as to what to do.
Oh, that's okay. Well, if you want, we can go ahead and stick you backstage really quickly and see if you can get that figured out. In the meantime, I can say hello to some folks in the chat if you like.
Okay, let's do that and I'll see what I can do because I thought I had you right up on there.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, we'll get that figured out for you guys at home. But in the meantime, let's say hey to some folks who are watching the show right now, since I totally forgot to do that at the beginning of the show. Duh. What is wrong with me? So hello from Lori over on YouTube. Thank you, Lori, for watching the show. Welcome. Chantel Pinto, thank you so much for watching over in Virginia. Oh my goodness. Pamela from New Braunfels, Texas. Oh my gosh, Pamela, you've got a Schlitterbahn over there. I want to go to a water park before the summer ends. Lana from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Hi, Lana. Oh my goodness. Joaquin from Houston, Texas. I love Houston. Paula from Tampa. How's it going, Paula? Thank you for watching the show today. We've got Shelly over in South Dakota. Thank you so much for tuning in, Shelly. Oh my gosh, I hope the weather's all right over there. I don't know. I feel like, is it getting cold up north for you guys who are a little bit further up north? I'm genuinely curious. I don't know what time of year the weather really shifts because I've lived in Baton Rouge my whole life or in Louisiana my whole life. So I am genuinely curious about the weather where all of you all are as well. We've got Deborah over in Ohio. Thank you so much for watching, Deborah. Lena from Canada. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for watching. We've got our neighbors up north watching. Thank you so much. We've got Trisha over in Illinois. Thank you so much for watching, Trisha. We've got Lori over in Wisconsin watching us on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching today, Lori. We've got Linda over in Brobridge. Thank you for watching again. As always, Linda, it's so good to see you in the chat. And Stephen Norma Kaufman over there in the chat as well. It's so good to see y'all as well. I love seeing everybody. We've got Joey Carr 65 over in Lakeland, Florida. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Who else do we have? Let's see. Pamela is bringing 100 quilters from Scrappy Quilter in Shirts, Texas. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you all to see what we're bringing to Houston. We have some really exciting stuff over there. So it's going to be a super fun show. It's going to be amazing. I'm very excited for that. Josie Sows, as always, it is so good to see you, Josie, over in Columbia, Maryland. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for tuning into the show today. We've got Maria over in Florida as well. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Who else do we have in the chat? We've got Chris from Warrington, Pennsylvania. Yes, these brother machines are so great. They're fantastic. And they're so good. Barbara Jones. Oh my gosh. It's always so good to see you, Barbara. Love to see what the experts do with these great machines, right? And they make it look so easy. They make it look so easy. So we've got, who else do we have over in the chat?
70s and
I'm jealous. I'm jealous. It's still hot and humid over here, and it's raining, so it's bonus humid. It's just sticky and swampy. It feels like it's not even September. It feels like we're in July or August or something. We've also got Ann Philbick, Sunny from Virginia. Thank you so much for watching. And oh my gosh, who else do we have? We've got so many people watching today. We've got Carla from Napoleonville. It's so great to see you, Carla. Thank you so much for watching the show today. And who else do we have? We have got Patty, I think down there, further down. Yeah, there we go. There we go. We've got Patty from Illinois. Patty loves Brother Machines. Who doesn't love Brother Machines? They're great. They're great machines. Oh my goodness. So fantastic to see all of you. And hello, Shirley from the middle of Texas. Wow. So awesome to see you. We've got Trisha asking us, are we in Oklahoma? No, we're actually over at our store in Baton Rouge, Louisiana right now. So for the uninitiated, let's go ahead and show everybody where our stores are. So guys, we have several stores. We've got 6 locations in the Louisiana and Texas areas. We've got our Baton Rouge store, where we are reporting from right now, our New Orleans location over on Vets, our Slidell location over off of that I-10 service road. We've got one in Lafayette over on Ambassador Caffrey. We have one over in Houston. And then we've got another one over in San Antonio. So guys, if you do have an AllBrands near you, you can take advantage of some of the cool stuff that we've got going on. We are having brother financing, I believe. That brother financing we'll talk about again a little bit more later. That is lasting until the 20th. So you've got 4 more days to hop on over to a store and get in on that. So while we wait for Colleen to get her cameras set up, I really hope you guys are having a good day. I'm having a good day. Tell us what projects you're working on down in the chat, because I love seeing what sewing projects everybody's got going on at the moment. It's always something different. Around this time, I really like to do clothes. I like to do spooky clothes in particular, like a Halloween print, like skirt or shirt. I just made my first quilt ever. So I'm sure all you guys in the chat are going to be very proud of me. It's not the prettiest, but it is done. And it is a Halloween quilt. And I free motioned some spider webs in there. Very, very excited about that. And I'm super happy. I'm super proud of it. I won't stop showing pictures to like my family and using it on my couch and stuff at home. So let's see if Colleen has got her cameras set up. Colleen, could you give us a thumbs up? Or, oh, Colleen, are you there? Awesome. Fantastic. So are we good to, oh, Colleen, your mic's not connected anymore, unfortunately. So I don't think we can hear you. But yes, Josie, that was my first quilt. It was my first one ever. I am more of a garment sewer than I am a quilter, but I'm so proud of it. It is spooky. It is fun. It's got spider webs on it. Super duper fun, and I got to do it over on the XP1. Trisha's working on an apron for her daughter with Disney designs. Oh, super cool, you guys. And by the way, all of you, I just want to say that we do have a Facebook group for these kinds of projects. So if you do want to share some pictures, share what you're working on, we have a Facebook group called Sew Forum. And if you have not joined that yet, please join it. It is such a supportive group of amazing people who will help you out. We have questions and answers and pictures and everything. It is a fantastic group. And Jordan is going to drop that link to join Sew Forum in the chat right now. Please join Sew Forum. It's a really fun little supportive group of people, and I'm so excited about that. Let's see. How's Colleen's mic situation? Let's see if we can get that figured out. Oh, nope, her mic is still not connected, unfortunately. Well, Colleen, do us a favor. Go ahead and send us a private message when you can, whenever your mic is connected again, and we'll get you back on the show. But let's see, we've got Pamela working on the prayer garden from Anita Good Design. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Anita Good Design puts out some really incredible designs. Barbara Jones is working on a tote with a sugar skull design and a ruffle along the top. Oh, wow. Something easy to avoid the hard messenger bag that I'm likely to mess up. Hey, it's a learning process for all of us. I can tell you firsthand that the first thing that I made, the first garment I made, with all kindness to my past self, it was hideous. It was hideous. I didn't wear it in public. It was ugly. It looked so bad. The zipper was a joke, but that's how we learn, right? That is how we learn. Let's see. Is there anybody else doing some projects?
Wants to see your quilt.
I don't have my quilt, but I can bring it. I will bring it. You know, here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do. For the entire month of October, we can hang that quilt back here and we'll use it as our spooky background. We'll do that. I don't know. Does that sound good to you guys? Let us know in the chat if that sounds good to you guys, because I think it'd be fun. That would be super cool. Carla is working on hooded towels. Oh, I love a good hooded towel, especially for like your kids when they're getting out of the pool.
Can we make those for adults?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, well, you know what? Carla might be making some for adults or for kids. You know, listen, don't limit yourself. Just get a kid's one. See if you can fit. It's all good.
Like, I want to feel that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. It's so cozy. You know, my grandma, shout out to my grandma if she's watching the show, because she does watch the show sometimes. She would sometimes put those in the dryer before we would get out of the pool. The best experience. The best experience. Loved that so much. We've gotten, let's see, is Colleen back? Let's see if we can get, Colleen's back. Yay. Colleen,
yes.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Fantastic. And we can see your screen now.
Hooray. Hooray.
Sweet. Okay. So let's get back to what you were talking about.
Yeah.
I know it's a little jarring swapping between stuff, but yes, go ahead and let's keep going.
There's my technician running away.
Thank you, Colleen's technician.
Yes. He also goes by the name of husband. So
thank you, Colleen's husband / technician.
Yes, exactly. All right. So what I wanted to show you, and I'll just show you really, really quickly, is that when you're at home, some of you have helpers, and some of the helpers are too young and really may not be trustworthy of using the machine. So what you can do is you can put a lock on it. It's called an admin lock. And then the machine won't function without you touching the lock. So that's just a really handy thing to do. Or if you have someone who's just learning, you can turn down some of the features. You can actually just turn them off so they're inaccessible. And then they can just use the features you want to let them use. So that's a pretty cool thing to be able to do. So we're going to just close that out. We don't need any more of those things. We're going to go through and look at some of the designs and some of the things. So I'm going to choose a design. I'm going to choose my little dinosaur because I'm going to have it do something for me. But right here, I'm just going to go through these fairly quickly. Sizing. What's cool about this is this would size it a little bit, but if you open it with this, and I'm not going to have it do it, but it will change the stitch count and it will allow you to change it down by 50% and up by 150%. So very, very valuable tool. The secret is you must let it recalculate the stitches to do that. So that's very, very powerful. Then rotate and flip. We all know those. Density. This would be where you could change the colors. So if there's a color in the design that you don't like, you wish it was orange instead of pink, just go in and take the orange and get rid of the pink and you're fine. This one is a tool that allows you to do multiples. So if you're doing patches, maybe for your kiddo that's going to school and they need patches on their tote bag and their backpack and their raincoat, you can make a whole bunch of patches at one time by just simply choosing whatever you want to do and then telling it to just repeat it. So that's a cool, cool thing to be able to use. This one is copy paste. So if I copy and paste something, I have two of it. Now I don't really want that one, so I'm just going to delete him. And then we're going to go down here. We can, those are lining things. I can't line things up because I only have one to line up. Now this is one of my favorites because I mentioned making patches and badges, and when you do that, it actually just turns it into an applique patch. And one of the things, I have a sample in here that I brought in to show you. And in all the heyday of trying to get sound, there we go. I'm going to just show you, sometimes a patch is better because you don't want to put a lot of holes in it. So this is a lunchbox. It is waterproof. And if I put a lot of holes in it, you know it's not as waterproof, right? So I just do an applique patch I can go right in here through this pocket, stitch that applique patch on, and on the inside of the lunch bag, let me just turn it for you, I just have the stitching down stitches. So that's a pretty cool way to do that applique feature and get a lot of mileage out of something. At least I love that feature and I use it quite a bit. There are all different kinds of shapes. That one that I chose was auto configure, but there's patch shapes and badges, and oh my goodness, I remember the days I did bazillions of patches and badges for groups. This would add quilting around it, and it just pops right in around it. And there's my stippling. And I don't really want that, so I'm just going to cancel it. But you could have stippling, or you could also have the it's rings around it, so it's going out. And people like that one too. This one is not highlighted because it's text control, and I don't have any text. And that's the whole thing for this whole row. This one would be scissors cutting or not. I'm pretty confident I have never turned that off because I really, really, really like that tool. I'm going to touch edit end, and we have rotate, we have auto based. This is kind of a cool feature because you can come in here and you can look at the colors, and if you decide that you would like to change them, again, you can change them, but more importantly, sometimes I just want to get rid of a portion of the design. And you can just say, when it gets to red, turn it off and don't stitch it. Now, I can't do that for this design because it would look silly, but you can do that in a lot of designs. There's a design I was using the other day that had a lot of frivolous stuff around it that I didn't really like. I felt like it detracted. And with one touch, I was able to wipe that whole thing out of the picture. So I really appreciate that tool. We're going to come back to this guy in just a second because he's my favorite. And once you meet him, you will be totally in love. This one is grouping colors. So if you're doing multiple patches and you needed it to be grouped, if it's possible for it to do it, it will do all the greens and then all the blues and then all the yellows. And I say if it's possible, because sometimes if it's in a different layer in the design, they can't be grouped. And then this one would turn it all into a single color. And sometimes people actually like to do that. They want something just quickly turned into a single color. Now we're going back to my best friend. This is my new best friend. And you saw what it looked like. It just looks like a little rectangle with a cross in it. And the reason he's my new best friend is because he makes me perfect. And I like being perfect. So there's no more mess ups. So what you're going to do is you're going to select a point on the design that you want to use as your alignment. It can be any point. There are 9 points to choose from, and it shows you both in the design and then out here in the outer marker. Now, I do actually want mine to be on the bottom, but I moved it so you could see that you can. And I'm going to go to the next screen. Now, do I want to align it vertically or do I want to align it horizontally? Well, I want it to be horizontal because I've actually hooped a pocket and I want to be able to have it stitch on the top of my pocket. So I'm going to tell it to do that. Now, what it wants me to do is to align the embroidery crosshair positioning marker with the point to align and press the next key. So I'm going to switch to a different camera so that you can see my screen. Now, you can see I have a chalk mark here and I have a laser mark. And I've turned the light down really low on my machine. If I turn it off, then you get a reflection off the fabric, so you can't see the crosshair very clearly. So I'm sorry for that, but it's just the tricks of camera hood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the crosshair point
Hey, Colleen, I think we may have lost your microphone. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you're talking, but we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah, we can.
Okay. I think I know what happened.
Okay, good.
I have my mic and my controller in my pocket. And I think it just got touched.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to
receivers.
I'm going to just move the arrow keys on this just real quickly. And then I'll get my hand out of the way so you can see what I've done. Whoops, that wasn't very quickly, was it?
Colleen, while you're doing that, we had a question from somebody over on Facebook. It's a little bit
That's
further
the way.
Jordan, yeah, there we go. Maria on Facebook wanted to know, does it automatically recalculate the stitches according to the size of the design or according to the fabric used?
It will automatically recalculate the stitches. If you choose the key that I talked about, then it will automatically recalculate to the size of the design that you select. Is that amazing?
That's so cool. Oh my God.
Oh, it's amazing, because if you have a design and you want to make it bigger, you can't, because it would look distorted, and this way it's perfect. So now I think you can see that I have my crosshair right, but it's still not on that line. Can you see how terribly I hooped?
I wouldn't call it terrible.
I would.
The fabric's in the hoop. That's more than I could say for me.
Oh, well, all right then. Oh, you're so kind and generous. So, I appreciate that. So I'm going to touch the next. And now it wants me to align again, because clearly I didn't do so very well the first time. So I'm just going to push down, and I'm going to bring that crosshair right down to that line. And now I'm going to switch you to the other camera, because you have to see this in real time. Well, you'll see it here. No, you have to see it. You have to see it on the screen. I'm going to touch. What has happened to my design? Is that crazy? It is at almost a 20-degree angle, because that's how poorly I hooped my shirt. But my shirt will be perfect. Are you impressed?
Oh my gosh, Colleen, you can't see us right now, but Jordan and I's jaws just dropped.
Well, they should, because
so cool.
It is, well, and it's so fast. It took me longer to tell you about it than it does to do it. And it's always, always, always perfect. So if you think about working on a stripe or a plaid or anything like that, if you're wrong, it looks just awful, and everybody knows you screwed up. And you usually give the shirt to Goodwill or throw it away or whatever. So with this, all that's gone. You're just perfect every time.
So stinking cool.
I know. So let me show you the shirt I chose to do it on, because of course I'm not going to choose something easy. So it's a little boy's shirt with dinosaurs, and the pocket on it has that nice piping. So, if you're even a thread off, the entire world will see that you made a mistake.
Right.
But I'm not a thread off, because my machine is perfect. Oh. Is that amazing?
Oh my God.
Brothers, done it again.
I have a couple of other samples. If you're thinking, well, I don't do pocket shirts on pockets, that's okay. I understand. But I have some other cool samples to show you. There's another kid shirt. Well, some of you have business people in your life. So there's the pocket. There's the logo placed perfectly above the pocket. So if you're doing things like for a business where they have a pocket shirt, you're not going to waste any shirts. You're going to be smack dead on perfect with every shirt you do. Now that to me was amazing. Is that cool?
That's so great. Well, especially because those shirts, depending on what shirt you get, those can get so expensive. So a mistake can be so costly.
So here's another one, and I showed you putting an initial on a towel band. This is my classic, you graduated from high school and you're going to college gift, or you're moving out on your own or whatever gift. They get a full set of towels with their initial on it, usually in school colors. Now, if it's just a neighbor kid who's just moving away from home, they get the same gift, because it's something everybody needs, something everybody can use, right?
Love it.
Goodness gracious. So now I want to show you these hoops, because the hoop I have in, let's go back to this one. The hoop I have in, can you see these little magnetic things around here?
Yeah, those little bulky bits over on the side.
Yes, well, I'm going to teach you to love these. I promise. Because what you can do, they have a little tab on them, and you just lift the tab and it comes right off. Now they're pretty, let's see if I can get this where you can see it. You can see they're pretty beefy magnets. So if you were trying to pull it off on your own, you would not be successful. But see this little silver tab right there? If I lift it, then the magnets are released. Some smart engineer figured that out, and we adore them for it. So let me grab this hoop and show you. This is the big one. This is the big version of it. This is whoa. Let me go to a different camera so you can see it better. This is the 5x7 version. And the reason that I wanted you to see this is because, first of all, my shirt that I did was perfect because I used the laser. But some of you may have an older machine and you may not have the laser. So if you had this hoop, it's got little tiny, let's see, how close can I get to this camera for you to see this? Can you see the little teeny weeny nubs that are sticking out? They're little teeny tiny marks right in here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, guess what? They're across from each other. So if you line those marks up, when you're putting these on, your item will be perfect. You cannot make a mess. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. So here it is. These, again, you just release, and it just pops right off, snaps back into place. And then on the top, I'm going to move it down a little bit so you can see, on the top is a storage area where you can stuff the bottom of the shirt, or more importantly, the straps on a tote bag, all kinds of different things that stuff up into that area so they're out of the way. We don't have to worry about them getting caught when we're trying to manipulate our embroidery. So I've done some big laundry bags just because I could. You know those great big ones? And no problem at all because the whole top portion is stuffed up into the top of that frame. Is that cool? No mistakes. Don't you love it?
Colleen, that is so cool.
I thought so too.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I know, it's so easy. So you don't even have to take this frame off, of course. You're just going to release the magnets. You're just going to release the magnets and pull the shirt off and pop the next shirt in. Do you care if it's straight? Not so much, because the laser's going to take care of it. If you want to align it up with the little nubs, you can do that too. Here you can really see the little nubs clearly. But in either case, you're going to be dead on right every time, and that's what counts. That's the important part of your embroidery, because you don't want to do something and then do it over. At least I don't think you do. What else do I have in here to show you? Well, I also have some caps. But I'm going to show you, because you know there's a lot of different accessory hoops available. So I'm going to take you back here to screen number 1, and I'm going to hold up this little purse. Now, you've seen these little purses. We see them everywhere. It's got 2 zippers, and they're so handy for trips and shows and travel and things like that. So if I were to stitch this from the top, I would lose a part of that bottom pocket. But can you see how far my fingers go in? That's how shallow the hoop can go in if you're using some of the specialty hoops. Is that impressive? You can go into that tiny little 1.5 inch space and embroider.
That is so cool.
I know. It's exciting, the tools that you can get with this machine.
Yes.
So the machine itself is just amazing, and it comes with 4 very, very useful sizes, 1.5 by 2.5, 4 by 4, which is the standard pocket logo or logo size, 5 by 7, and then 8 by 12. So you get a really, really nice size. A group of sizes. And then I mentioned this accessory set that are available, the flash magnetic frames. Those are very cool. Now let's take a look. I'm going to hold up some caps. So I'm going to pop me back into the picture here. So this is a flat brim cap, and flat brims are crazy, insane popular with the younger crowd. I'm not so sure that my age crowd is into it, but I know that my grandson came on a family trip recently, and he had a brand new flat brim cap, and I couldn't resist. I asked him how much he paid for it. And what he said made me drop my teeth. He paid $52 for it. And it's no different than this cap right here. And it only had 5 letters.
Wow.
Not the whole word. I mean, gosh, he'd had to pay more for extra letters, maybe. I'm not sure.
Right.
I did not have the courage to tell him that I could have done that cap for him for significantly less than he paid. But he was a happy camper. He got just what he wanted. So if you've been ever thinking about wanting to do caps, I am here to tell you, jump in now. The water's fine. Don't
now,
pay
Colleen,
anything.
we had 2 questions before you move on to the cap frame. We had a question from April over on Facebook. Wondering, is there a separate frame to use for the magnetic hoop?
Well, the magnetic frames that I'm using can come with a little attachment arm, and yes, there is. With your machine, you get the A arm and the B arm, and these flash magnetic frames use the F for flash, right?
Right.
So you can buy it with or without. You're certainly going to buy one with the F arm, and then the other one would just go on it. So I can actually take this. I have on here the 4x4, but I can take it off and pop the 5x7 on the same arm.
Right. Oh, and you guys, we are getting some questions about compatibility. I believe the magnetic frames will fit every machine from the 670 and up.
That's right. And all the 10s.
Yes, all of the 10s as well.
So those it may not be today. They're coming. They're working on those updates as fast as they can. I will tell you that for the 1055X, it is already out because I have installed it on my machine, but they are getting those out as quickly as they can. So there is that compatibility is promised and is under work to get there.
Yeah. And we had one from Josie Sows over on YouTube. She was wondering, how long will the light stay on? Now, Josie, I'm not sure if you're referring to the laser or the actual overhead light. But if it is I believe both of those will just stay on until you decide to turn them off, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
I can turn the laser on and off. I leave mine on because I love it. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
Just knowing that it's there makes my heart happy. So, but they both are controllable. And the light on my machine, I have turned down to its absolute lowest level so that it won't interfere with your vision from the camera. But the lights are actually very bright on the machine. But what happens is if I have them on, then you get a reflection from the laser. So
Right.
Not that you wouldn't know the difference because you would easily be able to see the difference. But so back to caps, unless there's more questions about that. So please ask questions. I mean, that's why we're here, to help each other out.
Yeah, you can keep on going. I don't think we have any more questions.
Okay, so then that was the flat brim, and this one is a snapback. So snapback are also, well, they're more popular across the board because the brim always snaps back to the right place. And I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember when guys would buy a cap and they would roll the brim and wet it and put a rubber band on it and do everything they could to make it stay curved like this. Now you just buy them curved like this. But with the new cap frame, you can get down very, very close. You can see, I'm going to stick my finger under there so you can get an idea of what that distance is. And I hear people say, well, gosh, I really wanted to get it right down on the brim. Well, that's great, but you can't see it. If it's somebody tall, then you can't see that. You have to have a little bit of clearance above the brim to be able to see it. And I was telling somebody that the other day, and they said, well, I never really thought about that. I just thought I wanted it down there on the brim. Yeah, but then only tall people could see it, not regular people. Here's another fun one. And the designs that I'm showing you are actually in the 680. So I love this one. And remember how about you touch a color it? This hat, I can delete those outer white bits if I wanted to and just have the rows. And I've done that on another garment so that I could have a matching piece. Remember how I just touched it and the color disappeared? You can do that with that. Now here's a little turtle. I'm going to try to center myself on the screen. I showed you this one first, so you've seen it. But again, look how close it is. When I put my finger, oh, my finger's too fat. My finger has to lay flat. So is that cool? Any questions about caps? No?
Let's see. We have we had one question, I think from Josie Soes over at the bottom of the chat. Can the magnetic clips be used interchangeably with the flatbed embroidery machines?
No. They cannot.
Yeah, I didn't think so, but
the attachment is different, so it won't work that way.
And we had Joaquin over on Facebook wondering, I believe if he's, I'm not sure if he's talking about the cap frame or the flat frame, but was wondering if it's compatible for the 600 too. I don't believe so, right?
It is not.
No. Yeah, it's not, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Joaquin.
The 600 and the 602 have a little bit different arm, and they are not compatible with that machine. Yes.
And we had one more from Maria over on Facebook, was wondering, is there the same frame size for the caps? I believe that the embroidery space is a little bit different.
It's really close. So we actually have 3 cap frames. So the one that we're talking about that we did this with is the flat brim cap frame. There is also a regular standard cap frame that has almost exactly the same embroidery field. And then for the 10 needle, there is one that has a 14-inch. So it's an ear to ear. And I use that one. You can use it for ear to ear. Of course, you can create your own ear to ear designs, and there are some on the machine. What I use it for is I will do a standard design, and then sometimes they'll want like the name of a business or the website, so I can fill in those 2 places with an American flag, a website, God bless America, whatever they want in there that's, that I'm willing to put on a cap. So you can do that as 3 separate small fields or 1 gigantic 14-inch field, whichever works for you.
And I don't think we have any more questions, so feel free to keep on trucking.
Okay, shall we take just a quick toe dip into the design database software?
Yeah. Let's look at that.
So let me tell you why we're going over here, because there's a reason for it. I don't do things without reason. So what this is I want you to just look at my screen, and right here is a little icon, and it looks like kind of like a spreadsheet with an arrow, and I'm going to double click it. And it opened up to the last place. So it opened up to where my designs are. This is a program that is coming free if you buy the machine. It is a free software program, and what it has with it is the ability to show you your designs and to do some work for you. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say, well, I don't need to create a new folder. Delete. If you wanted to delete designs, you can delete a whole bunch one at a time, but you can delete them. Search is my friend. Search will look, and so you fill in these search categories when you did it, what you named it, how many stitches, whatever you can remember, and it will search your entire computer if you want it to find a lost design. And I'm not going to ever say that I've had to use that, but I am going to tell you that it works miraculously. So that wasn't a real confession, was it? Okay, then I'm going to go back up here to find
So here's the thing with us, Colleen.
It's true. We won't tell anyone. Yeah, it's safe with me and Jordan, and then the other people watching the show right now.
If they know me, they know I've screwed up. I mean, the reason I am such a good teacher is because I make so many mistakes on my own. So the next category is print setup. And sometimes we like to print a design. So there are 4 different styles of print setup. This one is going to print just your design. So I'm just going to look at them real quickly. I'm going to choose a design. Otherwise, it can't do that. So that's my fault. It's not so good it can do that without me choosing a design. So I'm going to click this one and print preview. And you would see your design and you would see your thread colors. If you have something that's complex, it's really nice. This also gives you the details, so your size, that kind of thing. And let me just close that guy. And we're going to go here to number 2. This is going to do the 4. So it gives you, well, it didn't because I don't have 4 pictures chosen, but it would give you 4 choices. The same information, just in smaller size. So this one is going to give you, and you can look at it and you can see it's going to give you 10. And it, again, smaller print. A lot of people like to use this for categorizing designs. And then the last one is my fondest favorite, because this has a secret to it. So when you have a design up on your screen and you're getting ready to work with it, you can pull this up and you can work in here the name or keys. So let's say I'm working with somebody and they want me to do Rogers Trucking. I'm going to put in there hats, Rogers Trucking. Now I've got things for my search category, don't I? So it's going to always be able to find that keyword. It's going to tell me the size and the color, and you can really a convenient way to keep track of what you're doing and how to find it again if you ever lose it. Not saying I've ever lost any, just saying it's possible. So I think those are great. Portrait and landscape, of course, for your printing. I'm going to close this and I'm going to go back up here. Print preview, print, create an image file. If you wanted to have it as an HTML, you can do that. You can create a CSV. You can cut, copy, get rid of. Display, you can display large thumbnails. Sometimes you just want to see the small thumbnails. You don't, because you want to look faster. And if you know exactly what you're looking for, you can look at the details. This will actually just tell you the number, but it gives you the stitches and colors and width. This is useful if you're looking where you just really needed to know a stitch count or a number of colors, like 16 colors. Yeah, I don't know that I want to do that guy. Let's see, what else? Usage information, network machine settings. This is where you're going to set up your machine. So it will let you marry your machine. Remember that I said you could send from Design Database? You can send, and it is so fast. The first time I did it, I sat at my computer and I sent a design, and it was really at the sewing machine before I had gotten my finger off of the send key. So then I thought, well, I'll be a smart aleck and I'll send 10 at once. And they were there. It took a little bit longer, but they got there really fast. And then if you needed help, there's the help. There's the instruction manual about the program, anything like that you need help with. So this is a great little program. And like I said, it is a free program. So you really want to take advantage of getting that and installing it and using it. What it does very nicely. So what do you think about that? Any questions? No questions.
No, I'm looking at the chat right now and I am not seeing any more questions. Nope, go ahead.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much it for Design Database. It's just a quick and easy little program. And I mean, I can send something to the machine and you'd hear the ding ding, but I don't know that I can switch cameras fast enough. It would be there before I could change the camera, to be honest with you.
So easy.
I know. It's like it shouldn't really work that way because that's kind of awfully too easy. There's also a couple of programs that are available. One is My Stitch Monitor, and My Stitch Monitor allows you to just put on your cell phone or whatever you use. For me, it's a cell phone, so I can go downstairs and get a cup of coffee. And if something happens and the machine needs me, it alerts me with a ding and tells me that a thread broke, or I'm out of bobbin thread, or come help me is what it's saying.
Yes. Okay. So we do have some questions in the chat, actually. So we have Josie Sows asking, so you must be in Design Database in order to send a motif to the machine?
You would be in Design Database to send it directly, yes.
Okay. So
if you're a PE, if you are a dedicated PE design software user and you know how to do it, you can send directly from PE Design.
Oh, perfect. And then we had another question from Beth Small. Beth was wondering, can you still use a USB?
Absolutely. Good question. Yes, you can. You have two USB slots. The top one is faster, but you do have two USB slots, and then you also have the plug-in, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, you still have a direct plug-in. And I had to go look at that one because I don't use that because it's so fast to send it from your computer. You know, you're sitting here and you're doing something, you press send and it's gone. So
right. And so you guys, this is, I hope that this was a good overview of some of the really incredible things that you can do with this new PR680W. It is a fantastic 6-needle machine. I already know that this thing is just going to be a workhorse. It's going to be amazing. I am really excited.
It is an absolute workhorse. And the first thing I do when I get a new machine is to see what it can and can't do. And I haven't hit the can't yet. I mean, I've done the top of Ugg boots. I've done caps. I've done all kinds of things. And it's just been a champion every step of the way. And the same thing with the flash magnetic frames. Yeah. I put heavy things and lightweight things, and it's wonderful. It doesn't scar your silk. It's just amazing.
And so some of you at home may be wondering, okay, well, I've got an older 6-needle or 10-needle machine, right? Why do I need this one? And I think we got a little graphic that we put together before the show that I think will help demonstrate just what this machine has compared to a few other machines. So we just wanted to compare it to something like the 670E. Just for the purpose of this graphic, right? So yes, both of these do have an 8 by 12 inch maximum embroidery field. They both go max 1,000 stitches per minute, and they both have that giant 10.1 inch LCD display with a touchscreen, right? They also have that color sort, color grouping, color management. They have some utility stitch designs built in, the buttonhole designs, and those frame pattern combos, but I will say, as far as built-in designs, the 680W definitely has the 760E beat. You have 40 more designs than you would on your 670E. Built-in embroidery designs. I mean, you've got 6 different monogramming font styles on this one as well. And you have 50 lettering fonts on the 680W compared to the 37 on the 670E. So you guys, this is a fantastic machine just on those, based on those features alone. And if you are curious, we did link a comparison chart down in the description of this video, and we are linking one in the chat right now that I believe is going to compare, Jordan, which ones do those compare? It compares the 1055 Entrepreneur Pro,
the PR680W, and then the Persona, the PRS.
Yes. So if you guys are curious, I know those are all best sellers and they're very popular machines. So if you are curious about those and how they match up in a little bit more detail, check out the comparison chart that we have in the description or in the chat that we just linked. You should be able to see it there. It is a really awesome machine. It really is, just based on the built-in designs alone and the amazing laser guide that it's got. That the 670 is just slightly different, but this one I think is much more accurate. It's been dialed in more, I think.
It's goof proof.
Yes, even for me. It's so awesome.
Even for me.
Cool. So you guys, if you are curious and you do want, if you are interested in the things that Colleen has showed you today, let's go ahead and look at those overlays really quickly. So this is the 680W that you've been watching Colleen demo on this entire show. It is amazing. It is amazing. I love this thing. I love the fact that it has that administrative and operator lock. I think that is a really cool, useful feature, especially if you have kids that you might not, you don't want them touching your machine, or if you use this for your company and you've got some sort of proprietary stuff that you don't want other people to get their hands on. Absolutely perfect. And I just love that crosshair embroidery drop light laser. That, I mean, you saw it in action at the beginning of the show. It is truly an amazing new feature. That's so exciting. So we have that.
You were talking about kids of any age, weren't you? Because I have a tall kid.
Exactly. I know. I think it's perfect no matter what. Because, depending on who you've got in your household, right? Like my boyfriend does not understand sewing, embroidery, that kind of stuff. I love him to death, but he doesn't know the ins and outs of it quite like we do, right? So I would hate to see something bad happen and there be some terrible machine embroidery accident in my home, but that will prevent that. It's perfect. It's perfect. It is tamper proof. I love it. So we have that, and then Colleen then demonstrated over on that magnetic flash frame. Colleen, you used the 5x, or I'm sorry, you used the 4x4.
I did for this one. I used the 4x4.
Perfect. So it comes in 2 sizes. It comes in that 4x4 that Colleen showed, and also this larger 5x7. It is a really fantastic hoop. As you saw, it's so easy, really easy to line things up, particularly stripes. And it is compatible with all of those machines that you see down at the bottom of your screen. And then we talked a little bit about that flat brim cap frame. So this thing is also compatible with all of those models down below. And you saw how foolproof that thing was. It's amazing. So easy to use. I am so excited about Brother's new product. So we have all of these, right? And I just want to point out to you guys before we wrap up and go to the giveaway, this is National Sewing Month, so Brother is running a financing event and will be running it for another 4 days. So this promotion ends on the 20th. So you can get 0% APR for 36 months on any sewing and embroidery machine over $4,000 through this promotion. It is a $4,000 minimum purchase required, and you can get 0% for 60 months on any purchase of a machine 7,000 and up. Now, guys, this promotion ends in 4 days, so if you were thinking about getting one of these machines, this financing deal is incredible. I would strongly recommend hopping over to one of our stores in the next 4 days if you are near us. And if you are near us, we talked about our store locations earlier. We have 6. We have New Orleans, we have Baton Rouge, which we're at right now, Lafayette, Slidell, Houston, and San Antonio. So please hop on over to these stores in the next 4 days and just take a look at this fantastic machine. It's amazing to see it in person. It is incredible to see this in action, as you have seen on the show. And it's even more incredible to see it in the flesh, I would say. It's a really incredible machine with accessories. And I believe we did have 1 or 2 questions left over in the chat. We had a question from Ginny. Ginny was wondering, do the magnetic frames come with this machine?
They do not.
Unfortunately, they don't, but definitely a purchase I would add on if you are interested in getting this machine.
That's money well spent, though, because when you're rehooping, I mean, I always used to tell people to just buy a second set of hoops so they could have one in and put one in. But this is just even easier because you just pull out the item and put the new one in and snap the magnets on and go.
Yeah.
So it will reduce your work time by quite a bit.
Right. It definitely does. It's a time saver. I think it's a really worthwhile investment. Even if you do just have one of the other machines that this frame is compatible with, it is absolutely a fantastic investment. We had another question from Chantel. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Jordan. We had a question from Chantel over on Facebook. Chantel was wondering, do the magnetic frames work with the PRS 100? And yes, they do, I believe. No, wait, no, they don't. Am I wrong? My brain's not working today. I'm not
positive. I'm really not positive. I've never had anyone ask that.
Sure. But Chantel, we can check in on that for you. We'll check in on that for you, and we can reply to this post after the show and see if we don't reply to you, go ahead and email us or send us a message, and we can definitely check in on that for you, because I am curious.
Me too.
And we had one last person. Joanne was asking if this video was recorded because she did miss a lot. I know there's a lot of information. So if you are curious and you do want to watch this show in its entirety, if you came in at the last minute, that's okay. This entire show is going to be available for replay once we go off the air on both YouTube and Facebook. They should all be on a playlist that we have on the YouTube channel called the AllBrands Show. And I noticed we're nearing like 100 episodes, which is kind of crazy. We've been doing the show for a while. That's cool. But yeah, take a look at the AllBrands Show playlist. It will be there as soon as we're done. It will also be on our Facebook page as well. So I think that's all the information we've got for you today, you guys. This has been such an informative show. Colleen, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Oh, my pleasure.
We've learned so much. Oh yeah, and so before I forget, guys, don't forget, get your likes, comments, and shares in. We are giving away that $100 AllBrands gift card in about a minute. So hop in, participate, and we're going to pull a winner in just a moment. But you guys, thank you so much. Colleen, as always, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you in Houston too. I'm sure we'll see you before then, but it's going to be awesome seeing everybody all together in person in Houston again for the first time in a hot second. That is going to be super fun. And I'm very, very excited about it. So let's go ahead and pull for our gift card winner before we sign off for the day. And we are going to choose a random winner from our viewers here. And let's pull up that winner. Jenny Osborne, congratulations. I am so glad that you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoy it extra because you got that $100 AllBrands gift card. Congratulations, Jenny. Now, if you would, Jenny, please go ahead and email events@allbrands.com and leave us your name, your number, and your address, and we will get that gift card out to you. Congratulations again, Jenny. Oh my goodness, what an action-packed show it's been today. I am so excited every time I get to do this show, and this is no exception. Today's been great. Today's been informative. We have an incredible guest. Thank you again. I can't thank you enough, Colleen, for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
We learned so much. I learned so much from you every single time you come on the show. It has been an absolute pleasure.
That's what happens when we get together.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh. So with all of that said, and everybody's congratulating Jenny in the chat. Congratulations again. So with all of that said, you guys, this is the AllBrands Show signing off for today. Don't forget to catch us on next Thursday at 3:30, same time, same place. We'll be doing a few things on Thursday that I'm very, very excited about. I am very excited for all of you to see it. So feel free to join us again. But until then, have a great rest of your day, and we will see you again very soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.